The last Denver, the Uber taxis actually knew the route because it was so popular. Some guys were stepping off and they were like, man, I didn't realize the other event was here. I've been to this house about 6 or 7 times this week.
Make a space that everybody can enjoy all day and all evening. Something's always going to go on. And even if there's nothing, you can hang out with people.
And a lot of like cross-ecosystem pollination, which I think is really critical for the Polkadot ecosystem. We're sort of trailblazing in that because we can't just have Polkadot people there every day. That's like a meetup there with old friends, which is cool for a while. But we're here to make business. We're here to make connections. We're here to further the space. And that's why we invite all other ecosystems to sort of mingle.
I want to kind of figure out the secrets here because...
The launch team wishes you good luck and Godspeed.
Space Monkeys blasting off with WebZero Chief Stuntman Roman Kemper and Chief Vibe Officer Zoe Faircloth here in Toronto, just across the street from the iconic Pink Bus rap battle we had at Consensus this year. A lot of information we're going to be learning about where WebZero came from, where we're going in the future. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to have you here.
Hello, Jay.
How are we doing?
Bit wrecked.
Wrecked, yeah?
Recovering from a long week, I'd say.
This is how all the events go, right? Like plan, and then it's just so rammed.
Morning till night, just endless. Stop. Don't stop.
Is there ever a moment during the event that you question the choices that brought you here?
In life?
In life, yeah.
Mornings.
Mornings, yeah.
Sometimes, yeah.
In the mornings.
The struggle. But then you see the people, you see the vibes, and it all clears away by the evening. So.
Yeah, it's fine.
Maybe we could start with a little bit of history of WebZero. Did it start with the Polkadot event?
Actually, yes.
Okay.
The idea for WebZero came doing an event for Berlin Blockchain Week in 22.
So 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was an event with a Subsquid where I used to be the CMO. And then we had Moon Sama. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Not forgotten, right? They're still around.
Totally.
And we had the CTO dox himself at the event.
Okay.
We had a couple other projects as well, so it was pretty cool. And it was my first crypto event to organize, and I had fun.
One night gig, or what was it?
It was one whole day.
Yeah.
We had like a day of conference style, talks and stuff, and panels, and then we had a party, and we had an NFT gallery in a dungeon. It was in an old brewery in Berlin, so it was kind of already kind of like this edgy, whatever WebZero is now. The DNA for that comes from this event, I would say.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What was the feeling during or after the event that made you decide to do it again?
I mean, it's like instant validation. If you have an event that people really enjoy, they'll let you know. So it's like different than, working behind a computer all the time and just like interacting online. But you just see the reaction in person, you bond with people over it. Yeah, that's special to me. And
very nice.
So actually the idea to WebZero came because we had such a mass invoicing and, managing this event, like doing the admin.
Huge. Yeah.
And we worked with the Parity finance team. Thank you, guys. But it's been wild, it took us like months to settle everything and clean the books. And I was like, okay, we have to have an entity, even if it's just a tool, right?
Sure.
Just a tool to do a thing. And which is like what WebZero is still. It's a tool for every member of the team to do whatever they want with it.
That's so cool. Hey, Zoe, when did you join the team?
So I'm founder of Crypto Girls Club.
Yeah, right.
And at some point, I think it was 2021 when we started, and we soon spread to become one of the largest women in Web3 organizations in Europe. And actually, I collaborated with WebZero on a Pizza Day event.
Yeah, Pizza DAO.
Pizza DAO. So that was almost exactly 3 years ago from today. Right. And it was such a huge success. I've actually known Roman since the Bitwala days in 2019. So worked together for a long time, understand how people work. And I've just been doing, after 60 events for women, I moved over to WebZero because we realized that it was a really good fit. So
Crypto Girls this was the first thing I ever filmed for WebZero. I just stopped by the, Consensus in Austin.
Austin, yeah.
Yeah.
A year
this
ago.
is where I met you too.
Ah, yeah.
Well, kind of met you because you were just like running around.
Yeah.
Like I saw you,
I'm not very social when it comes to events. I'm too busy.
You got a lot going on, right?
Yeah. I remember back in the day when I used to pay to go to conferences and meet everyone. And now I'm just like,
Too busy.
Too busy for my own good.
Crypto Girls Club still happening?
Yeah. So we're actually collaborating with Women in Polkadot. So I'm sort of advising Women in Polkadot now, using my experience with Crypto Girls Club and combining and continuing the events with WebZero with a better production. So I'm actually really grateful for it.
What's the approach for crypto, but like kind of geared toward women?
Yeah, I don't think it should be siloed, or I don't think it should be different, but there's definitely areas and spaces where it's definitely needed, and making those connections and having those introductions, I think it's definitely, because it's such a male-dominated field, it's really important to have those spaces available. So that's what we sort of did in multiple countries around the world. So and continuing that.
Yeah, and her first job for WebZero was in Denver 2 years ago.
The first mansion.
Yeah, very
The
first
mansion,
And
8 days.
Totally.
we did a brunch event just exclusively for women, and we had 60 great ladies there. It was really cool atmosphere.
I think there's a lot of women at WebZero events in general.
Trying to continue that trend and try and make it a bit more inclusive.
Sure.
Just because it's needed. I mean, sometimes we have parties where it gets a little bit like overloaded with men, but like generally the consensus is like, let's try and keep it more equal, balanced.
Yeah, totally. So since that first mansion, that was my first kind of experience of FOMO of WebZero, actually, because I didn't get to go to that one. But what's changed?
I mean, that was like our own idea, our own like product. This like having a space for multiple days, not doing a classic hacker house, but more like a space that hackers can use.
Yeah.
But also for everybody else that kind of represents, like Berlin represents what we like, this casual atmosphere. So doing these events at conferences like Consensus, it's always great because people see the contrast. They go to all of these pretty corporate events, and then they end up at the Blockspace, and they're like, oh, what the hell is this? And somebody's doing a rap battle or a Mario Kart championship or something like that. So it's always like a bit different than people would expect it to be, but very consistent with the way it is.
They end up coming back endlessly. So you see them like 4 or 5 times. So actually the last Denver, the Uber taxis actually knew the route because it was so popular.
Right.
And some guys were stepping off the Uber and they were like, man, I didn't realize the other event was here. I've been to this house about 6 or 7 times this week. So we like to, harvest people there and like keep them in there.
Make a space that everybody can enjoy all day and all evening.
Yeah.
Something's always going to go on. And even if there's nothing, you can hang out with people and talk and,
Yeah. And a lot of like cross-ecosystem pollination, which I think is really critical for the Polkadot ecosystem. And I think we're sort of trailblazing in that because we can't just have Polkadot people there every day. That's like a meetup there with old friends, which is cool for a while. But we're here to, make business. We're here to make connections. We're here to further the space. And that's why we invite all other ecosystems to sort of mingle.
I want to kind of figure out the secrets here because attending these events, it feels like feels a little magic. Like there's kind of this art to it, right? There's like these experiences and these connections where it's just so unexpected, but it feels kind of cohesive. The first step is getting your own space, right?
Yeah, it's mad attention to detail. Like it starts when we scout 4 locations.
How do you do that? I mean, even the spot you had here on Queen, I've lived here for a couple decades now, and I've never seen that before. How do you find these spaces?
Collective effort. I often offer like some sort of tip for finding us a good venue, and then I scout myself a lot and ask everybody who's like local, if we can find any leads.
And what qualities are you looking for in a space?
So I always want something that's kind of short distance to the main event, so you can reach it sort of easily. It has to have a lot of corners. That's very specific. Corners, with seating where you can just sit with like groups of 2 or 3 or 4 people.
Yeah, okay.
Has to be there.
Okay.
Needs 2 rooms. One big room for like networking, another room for workshops.
Okay.
And parties.
Yeah.
You don't want to, you need a space for people to talk always. Then it has to have our signature kitchen.
Yeah.
We always have Chef Dan Forbes coming out and like running it with locals,
Sure.
And it's like a consistent menu every time. So this place that we're scouting has to have a kitchen or something like a kitchen.
Or you'll bring a kitchen. Didn't you bring a kitchen in Bangkok?
We built one, in Bangkok,
Yeah.
That was mad.
That was a different challenge. The Bangkok venue didn't have electricity, didn't have toilets, so we had to rent a bus toilet, and it didn't have a kitchen. It was just a concrete slab.
Crazy.
So we've really, we have the location and we scout it, but we also design the venue if we have to.
Way form over function, right?
If there's a lot of tick boxing that we can't find anywhere else, like location, less than 15 minutes walk from the main conference venue, if it ticks the box, we will make it happen so that it's a comfortable space. So
and it has to kind of have this homey feature or the very Berlin, either like, you know, the industrial, lots of stone, gray, you know, this like color projections.
Yeah.
Either that's what we're going for, or we go for something like the mansion in Denver, or here the Lodge on Queen, where it's more like a little bit more historic, you know, like more wood, more, you know, warm, welcoming.
Every venue has sort of like a story.
Yeah.
Right.
And we feed that to our creative director, Dim, as well. So that sort of ties into all the art that we do as well. So the Lodge on Queen was designed by gem hunters.
Yeah.
So they're world famous gem hunters, and we fed that to our creative director. That's why the Polkadot logo on the merch had all these like diamantes and gems.
Yeah.
And that just adds to like the story of each venue, and it makes it more exciting. So
Dim's a key piece of the team. How did he get involved?
He went to our event in Brussels.
Oh, okay.
The one in the sneaker store.
Oh, wow. Pretty recent.
Last year.
Last summer,
Last summer, yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's been seeing our stuff because he's friends with Strint Bergman, with Daniel. So they've both been to our space in Brussels, and then, we began talking, you know, and he joined us for Sub-Zero in Bangkok.
Yeah, right.
And he did the creative direction for it, the artwork, the logo design, everything, animations.
And this is where the merch really kicked off as well, yeah?
Oh, yeah. We had cool merch before, but that was like, he got it to the next level.
The next level now,
For sure.
yeah.
Quick side quest here. You guys are opening a merch store, right? Can we talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, shit.
Sorry, the merch is so good.
No, we kind of, like, we have to just organize it, but the idea is to have our own merch, like WebZero stuff, and then, of course, with Polkadot. And we also have interest from some parachains to,
it's time.
Get in there and, do collabs with our art director, Joel. And
sounds good.
I think it's a good, we've done really cool merch in the past, and like every time we try to do something cooler. Yeah.
Totally. Okay, so we have the space, we have the
kitchen.
The kitchen, of course.
Bars.
Everybody knows when they go to a WebZero event, there's going to be food eventually.
Yeah.
Sometimes it goes pretty quick, but...
Oh, yeah, it happens.
Bars?
Open bars.
Always open
all
bars.
All day, all night. Well, I mean, it actually starts from happy hour, 5 p.m. and then runs late into the night.
Depends on the event. Sometimes not.
And then when it comes to decorations, you were talking so like being very specific, yeah? Where's the inspiration come from? How do you source the material?
It comes from other events.
Okay.
So actually, I do like to see life outside WebZero events, although I think we're pretty up there as one of the best. Don't blow my own.
But don't get to go to so much.
Yeah, I don't get to.
Other events
when I
anymore.
do,
It's like, so busy.
I check out what really works, and I listen to other people and say that's cool. So we're adding like a Polaroid station where people can take pictures,
cool.
and
totally.
a tattoo station, and just adding these little like key details that really work. And then obviously the pink school bus was the cherry on. Yeah.
Okay, fine. We could talk about that. So how did this happen? In Denver, we tried the bus. And we were waiting for a bus to show up, and then it came, and it was. I think instantly you guys knew you could do better.
That's when the idea happened. So like other events, we collaborate, we see what's happening. We're like, we can do this, but we make it pink.
Okay.
Now we have a stage on top, so it's like. But the short story is, so we had a pretty good event in Denver, and had a lot of sponsors, so we made some profits. And so we have this event crew that works with us, like the bar people, right?
Yeah, Frenchie,
Cookie and Frenchie,
legends.
Yeah, totally.
Cookie worked with us on the very first East Denver event, on the very first Blockspace, and so they're doing their bartending thing now. And so we bought the bus for them to do events with it, and then come to big Polkadot events.
Yeah.
And it was really cool. So it has a stage now, it has a generator, it has speakers, it has.
Different designs inside that can like drop different tapestry.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, the back room is the glow in the dark painting room.
Right.
So cool.
Which is a nice touch that they did.
Lots of details. Yeah.
It almost didn't make it this time though.
It was tough.
What happened?
Yeah, that was stressful.
Well, it's like a bus from 2006. It has like 260,000 miles or something on it. It's like it's been used.
Yeah.
It's not young.
But so it broke down, but luckily it wasn't a crucial part or something expensive. So it was just a wire that gave in.
But that's the testament to WebZero, because all our tech was on the bus. We had 24 hours to go until we opened, and we managed.
Oh, you mean like all the speakers and everything?
Yeah,
right?
everything. Absolutely everything was on the bus. So we anticipated it arriving.
DJ decks.
And we fixed everything. Within 2 hours, we had a contact that replaced our tech. We rented it out again.
Yeah.
And we solved it, and we had an amazing party. So it just shows that WebZero is really good at fixing issues now.
No, it's wild. You guys are like always troubleshooting on the go, actually, and kind of just like pulling everything together.
With the territory.
Yeah.
Is there anything that we missed? This like, was there something that was supposed to happen that didn't happen, or did everything land?
No, I mean,
that's crazy.
Yeah, we had like a change for Boundless. They were doing. They wanted to do a bus event with us.
Yeah.
But the bus was a day late, so we had to move it to the inside. But it turned out good because it was raining anyways.
Yeah.
So that would have been subpar, you know.
Totally.
To be like intense and outside and it's raining.
Yeah, we always have a backup plan. So.
Yeah, that worked out. No, everything it came together exactly as planned. To be fair,
especially Fungi and the wrapping.
Oh yeah,
like, that's a core memory of my life, I think, for many.
He's amazing. Yeah,
How did you get him up here?
Well, I mean, I took a risk. I met him at Denver. He came to our house. He was just freestyling, having fun with everybody.
Yeah.
So I got his contact and was just chatting with him and about doing this gig in Toronto. And it's funny because he also told me like he felt the need to follow up to do this subconsciously because he's a busy guy, you know, he has a kid, he's doing his rap career, he's trying to, make it big.
Yeah, he's got big talent, right?
Oh, he's great. Yeah, he's really up there and also out there. So him like taking the time for this was like, but he felt like it's the right thing to do, and doing the gig in front of Consensus was freaking
up
awesome.
On the roof in the sun, catching all the people coming in and out of Consensus. That was insane. Yeah.
You guys got a lot of content just from other people attending the events this year. Yeah.
I think there were like 100, 150 people who took videos and photos of this.
Wow.
So even like random guys, I think there was a ice hockey game or something. I don't know.
Yeah, a Blue Jays game. Baseball game.
Baseball. Okay, right. So they were like, it was really funny because it mixed, the Consensus crowd and the baseball crowd.
Yeah, totally.
And they were equally amazed by this guy. Of
course, fit right in. So, is there anything that we think we could do better as far as event planning goes? Anything we can improve on?
Always,
Yeah.
So
every time, really, there's always something that we can just do a little bit better.
For sure.
And we're not saying we're perfect.
Yeah.
No.
We're saying we're good and we can get the job done. But we're always improving and iterating and saying, okay, where can we hire next? And I think definitely expanding the team as we do more events is going to be sort of key to keep our sanity.
Who are the players you need?
So we onboarded a few really cool people. So one that gets a shout out is the WebZero intern, Dercio. He actually helped us out at an event in 23.
Yeah.
And since then we kept in touch. Now he's part of the WebZero DevRel team.
But he's multi-talented.
And he's doing a lot of other things.
22-year-old DJ, DevRel.
He jumps in everywhere,
developing our CRM system so that we can track and analyze the data from our Luma attendees and stuff.
Totally.
That's how we're going to improve, right? Your question, how can we do better? We'll have scientific proof for where exactly we can do better very soon. We're working on it.
Yeah, so tracking outcomes and
setting up our own customer CRM system. Having it's the first one that really builds on the Luma stack. So we run events on Luma, and then we get live data from Luma, and we can interpret it and compare through events, go way deeper in the analytics as they offer out of the box.
Yeah, sure.
And even build concierge features. So
who built this?
That's Dercio.
What?
So I just took some budget aside to finance it. And he's just building it. The prototype for it, and it can tell me when certain people check into the event, for example.
Okay.
That I was waiting for.
Oh, damn. So you can go and greet them and give them the experience and all that.
Yes. Or if I want to meet somebody, it's a bigger event. I don't know when they're going to come, so they don't even have to call me. I can just go. Yeah.
Wow,
so
cool.
that's going to be really useful for event managers.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so expanding the team is going to help a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, to cover more things. Something about WebZero that I think really impresses the token holders who, well, I guess you get a lot of funding from the events bounty.
Yeah.
But you also go to OpenGov. One thing that impresses everybody is the costs are low, especially compared to other events that we see, right?
Yeah.
Well, what's the secret?
Like
You're
I
not
said,
like starving, right?
and no, I mean, first, there's no greed behind this. It's not like greed is not important to me, or money for that matter. And this is a tool.
Yeah.
This was designed to be a tool, not a tool to enrich myself, but a tool to give a lot of cool people opportunity and go to all of these events and have fun. And so far it's working. So I'm happy with it.
It's amazing.
So it's like, and we optimize. It's a challenge. I see the cost centers, where we're really overspending, and then we try to do it ourselves eventually.
Bring it in-house, yeah.
Yeah. We're insourcing. I love insourcing.
I see, yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit of DIY element. So, for example, we won't buy a new school bus or buy a 5K one off Facebook that's pre-owned. I mean, we'll have difficulties along the way, but it's definitely cheaper than dropping a 200K and, we don't do that. But also with decorations and stuff, like do it yourself and, find, I think, with a bit of love. And people appreciate that. Mm-hmm. You don't need fancy tech sometimes.
There's like this MVP, this minimum viable product that can be met on some of these aspects of an event, and then you should be really, really good at some parts. So people remember.
I think one of the things that you bring in-house is we already mentioned, but the kitchen as well, right? I think this saves a lot. Mm-hmm. And it's so impressive, so high value.
Tons.
Yeah. Totally.
I think when the chef said to me that my brunch is going to cost about $1.50 per person.
What?
For avocado and mimosas and stuff. So
that's nuts.
Yeah, and I thought he meant 150, and I was like, whoa, like that's pretty overpriced. But no, $1.50.
Yep.
Yep, that's the price.
I think our average price point per guest for food is around like $3.50 to $4.
Okay.
And that includes brisket. That includes chicken waffles, tacos, whatever. Yeah. It's like.
And how many guests did we get in this year?
This year or this event?
Sorry, this event.
This event.
It is coming up to about 2,000 actually. So it's
unique guests.
No, visits. I think
visits.
Check-ins.
Visits.
Yeah.
I think unique guests is around like 1,200 or something.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
But they came a lot of people
came back and
No, I know. Yeah.
And we track that too. So.
Any impressions of Toronto? How was it throwing an event here compared to other places?
More expensive.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Not joking.
No, I know. It's one of the most expensive places ever.
I found out, we found out.
So brutal.
But,
okay, so more expensive, yeah.
People are very friendly. We were so nervous about the bus.
Oh, yeah.
Because, where can you park a 10-meter vehicle?
We were worried about this.
Full-size
and then we went right out front the whole time.
I think I spent a month just saying it's not just worried. We were looking at parks. We were looking at permits. We were freaking out completely, so nervous. And then we thought the police would come, and the police were walking by dancing to the rap battle.
Yeah,
we weren't even moved in the end. It was they kept walking past what's going on here? And I was like, this is so friendly.
Okay, so what's coming up next? You guys have a super busy schedule. Let's talk about the rest of this year. It's kind of messed up, Okay, so wait, we're recording this at the end of May. Pizza Day just happened by the time this goes up.
Yeah.
Right.
So what's next?
So we flew back from Toronto at this point.
Okay.
To host the Pizza Day in Berlin.
Okay.
And our next stop is Berlin Blockchain Week in June.
3-year anniversary of your first event. Yeah.
That's what's up.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What's going to happen there? 3-day, 5-day space. 5
days.
5 days. We have a really cool underground club in Kreuzberg.
Okay.
Right at Cottbusser Tor. Cotti. It's where the workers' movement happened, the 1st of May protests.
Okay.
Where they started. So we're going to show them some, workers' rights on the blockchain.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
We're not about taking a meeting hall and turning it into a club. We want to capture the core of Berlin, and we took something that's commissioned by the Berlin Club Commission. So actually renting a club in Berlin is really, really hard.
Really?
The second they hear crypto, they don't want to hear anything about it.
Why?
Because it's
not cool.
It's something that it's just not a thing, especially English speaking. Like they only speak German, for example.
Okay.
And they're very hard to contact. It helps that we live here.
Yeah.
And we were able to track them down. So yeah.
It'll be June, warm, beautiful weather.
Yeah.
Then we have 2 dance floors, a bar and like a conference kind of like workshop space.
Sure.
And there's a ping pong table outside, so it's like it bleeds out into this park area, public park, right at the street, and it's like it's a beautiful location. So and we have some really big surprises planned for
I was just
Berlin.
going to ask if you had anything special you wanted to tease.
You're going to find out for that. But,
come on, just a little taste.
So we should maybe talk about it. Yeah. So so Zoe has a lot of used all of her contacts to get the artist commissioned who's made the centerpiece in Berghain, the central like sculpture for the main bar.
Oh,
and it's made out of sugar, so it's an 8-foot sugar sculpture. And
I've seen this guy.
It's currently in Berghein's downstairs bar.
He's legendary.
We've commissioned him. He's going to come over and we're going to present his artwork at the venue as well. So we really want to celebrate Polkadot's birthplace in true sort of Kasama style.
Totally.
So,
yeah. Just following the 5-year anniversary of the first block, I think, as well, right?
Yeah. That's happening.
So some incredible sugar sculpture.
Oh yeah, it's there. We will have one of his originals displayed, and for the week. And it's a
I heard
good
it's pretty
promotion.
common for people to lick his sculpures.
I wouldn't do it with this one
I don't
because
but people will try to probably.
you put rosin on top, so it doesn't.
It doesn't taste good.
No, so it doesn't break down. Sugar breaks down, so
it melts.
without certain treatment, it wouldn't survive more than 2 weeks.
Wow. Okay.
So
interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. Anything else? I mean, that's pretty awesome.
I mean, that's a big one. I would say we're trying to tap into, really push Berlin culture and also get some media attention through this. Maybe
Cool. Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, altogether, it's going to be a very epic event.
You're going to do 5 days there, and then we're all going to go to New York City like 3 days later. Is this true?
Yeah, this is like still to be confirmed. But we have to.
Oh, you want to talk about it?
Oh, by now we handed in our proposal.
Yeah, by today.
Yeah,
so
okay, nice.
Yeah, hopefully if the curators share our vision. Yeah.
It's a little intense, no?
It is really intense. Yeah, not knowing whether you're going to get funded or not, and booking venues and putting down the
overall, we've always had a lot of support, so can't complain.
It's like a big struggle to get that assurance, right? To really get people to commit to something.
Yeah.
And like you said, putting down money up front, maybe not coming back, but exceptional output usually is rewarded in the DAO.
I take the risk. I believe in the DAO. I believe they share our vision.
Yeah.
So far, there's no evidence for the contrary.
Totally, yeah.
So, thanks, curators.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thanks for your trust. And also token holders. Voters,
Totally.
we have we had a lot of interaction now for our proposal for Sub-Zero/Decoded in November.
Yeah.
In Buenos Aires, where, we have already secured a venue and put down money. So please don't screw with us.
Let's get there. So New York at the end of June.
Yeah.
So 2 events in June.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. And then what do we have? And then back to Berlin after.
And Web3
Summit in July.
For the hackathon.
Okay.
So a part of WebZero is actually the DevRel and the hackathon. And we went there last year and we had an amazing reception. We actually had about 200 hackers.
Yeah.
So there were 400 attendees from the whole of Web3 Summit, and half of them were the hackers.
Yeah.
So
Are the hackers just going to hack at your location, or is it going to be kind of like an offsite again?
At the Funkhaus venue. So we created the Blockspace. We had a little downstairs area.
Yeah.
And then upstairs, this beautiful, beautiful hall. It's really historic. And a couple of people slept there overnight, jumped in the spree, which is a bit toxic, but they had a great time.
So looking forward to that.
Funkhaus.
Yeah,
cool.
It's the former propaganda center for the East German government.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
The communist government.
Okay, cool.
So,
and it's huge.
Historical
It's
place.
enormous.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No trouble filling it, though?
No.
I mean,
it was the hall was full. The hall was full. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the big one, Buenos Aires.
Wow, so we get a few months off.
We potentially,
maybe for now.
Yeah, maybe.
So
Yeah.
who knows?
Ideally, yes. So
Some might come up,
yeah.
It's like,
micro events.
Something's brewing in Las Vegas in August.
Oh, yeah. No, great.
Great, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay, let's talk about the big one. So Decoded
talk about the main event.
and Sub-Zero WebZero?
We're
Sub-Zero.
marrying.
Yeah, we're putting them together, yeah.
Yes, we're
Which
marrying
is
the two
a long
events.
time coming. Holy smokes.
I mean, I remember I talked to Fabi, who used to be the CEO of the foundation,
Yeah.
about this in last year in summer. Yeah.
Okay,
We
cool.
talked about it like, why do we need two events? I mean, like,
Yeah.
let's prove demand, build it up, and like centralize it a little bit,
Yeah.
put everything in one basket and go really hard.
Uh-huh.
And then see if we build more demand for bigger events, out of this. I mean, why not have a product stage and like a development stage?
Yeah, totally. Everybody
Yeah.
mingling. Like, why do we need to be separate?
Yeah, it's pretty normal, right? A lot of like other ecosystems do the same. They do one event and then they inform about everything that's going on in the ecosystem,
Yeah.
technical or non-technical or whatever, at this event.
Yeah, totally.
And I think it makes the most sense.
So location?
Location Buenos Aires because it is right before Dev Connect.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Right before, same we did with like Sub-Zero in Bangkok.
Yep.
Good positioning because I mean we're like the closest devs to ours are like I would argue are Ethereum developers, especially with the upcoming updates.
Yeah, totally.
So and it's a good community.
It's going to be about 25,000 people flying in just for that. So we want to
Crazy.
also activate the local teams on the ground.
Sure.
And we're already sort of working with .latam and NerdConf. So sort of like we don't want to come in and take ownership of anything. We want this to be a sort of community-driven event with the locals who know the area, know the venues, know the spots, and know the best prices. So
That's cool.
yeah, no rugging from other vendors.
Exactly.
We're not gonna get the bus down there, right? That's a long ass way away.
Probably needs to get another bus.
yeah,
we
probably,
might do shuttle buses to and from.
Okay.
Just because the area of Palermo, that's where the hotspot is. But it's like a 10-minute drive from.
Yeah, we're close enough.
No,
We're close enough, and the venue is insane.
it's insane.
Yeah,
It's
what's it like?
insane. Brutalist.
What do we expect?
Brushed concrete,
Yeah.
glass, swimming pools,
Swimming pools.
20
yeah.
rooms,
It's
lots
a
of
photo-
activations. It's a photo shoot.
It's a big photo studio
Okay,
for
wow.
big brand productions. So they have a underwater shooting pool. Isn't
way.
that cool?
That's crazy.
Hydration, we'll love that. We're going
Oh
to call
my
it
God,
hydration.
exactly.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be the hydration
Yeah,
pool,
they have the
obviously.
pool.
You guys got the whole building?
Yeah.
How did you do this?
And they've never had the building ever. They've never rented it.
They've never done this.
No, it's we're the first company that gets the whole building. Even Google and other companies and YouTube, when they did their events there, they didn't book the
How
whole
do
thing.
you do it, Roman?
I don't know. Running a hard bargain, let's say.
What? Okay.
Got a very good price for it as well. So
If I have something in my head that I really want to have,
Sure.
then it usually works out. I don't know why.
What were you doing before all this event stuff?
Oh, like I've done like a lot of different jobs, usually marketing or sales.
Okay.
I was a sales director or national sales at a craft brewery for a couple of years.
Yeah, cool. Nice.
And I've used to work at Apple when the iPhone came out, so ancient
Alright.
history. Yeah.
What do you guys say to there's some rumbles that maybe crypto events are kind of dying down, becoming less popular and interesting to people? What do you think about that trend?
side events will never die.
Yeah.
So let's see. I think there's still definitely a need for the coming together. I think there may be too many of them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how people get work done, but they're so
Yeah.
critical. They're so crucial.
Yeah.
And this is how we connect.
I think consolidation is important here. So you just have to see where the trend goes, like which events are becoming stronger, which becoming weaker.
Yeah.
So there's always this effect in the market, and eventually it's like about like building strategies that adjust to the market. So maybe smaller ones, but more, more
Sure.
into like local communities.
Yeah.
So it's live marketing has like certain strategies to it, and they don't work for every market situation, right?
Yeah.
So you adjust.
But also there's so many side events happening that you have to be different now.
Yeah.
So what we're doing, we have to be bigger, we have to be bolder, we have to have a pink bus. Because how do we compete with the 200, 300 side events that are happening, which will happen during Dev Connect?
Yeah,
We've
and
got to
like
be unique.
Yeah.
we have some unique strategies or tactics, I would say, that help us a lot. There's like having like a space for multiple days
Yeah.
And then filling it with events, like 3-4 events per day. You just like over the calendar everywhere, you know, like people scroll through, they see WebZero like every
they can't escape us. That was the sort of consensus. You can't
I think that's the key
us.
to your cross-chain approach too, right? You just get events. You just provide a nice service, actually, a space for people.
We don't really mention their Polkadot. So Polkadot,
until they're there.
We have Polkadot content days, which you know, it's great. But we have different activities which appeal to everyone. As soon as we get them in the door, they know it's Polkadot. So they're Polkadot pilled from the second they step in the door.
Absolutely.
So it works.
It's cool to watch people talk about Polkadot.
Yeah, and get excited
ask
again.
Questions, And it was very satisfying to have our pink bus parked, I don't know what, 40 meters from the $150,000 midnight bus.
Yeah.
Wow.
That very boring.
It was
really bad investment decision on them, I would say.
They had two of them.
We haven't made bad investment as a DAO as well.
Mean, sure.
They had two of them, and I think maybe not giving Polkadot users the airdrop, maybe they'll change them.
Yeah, that's
right.
karmic a little bit, you know.
Yeah, totally.
Karma.
We got it.
We got the cooler bus. We don't get the airdrop, but we have the cooler bus.
I think it's worth it. Another emerging trend, maybe we should mention real quick, because getting the cross chain, you guys are doing that really well. But how about reaching over to kind of like the traditional web conferences, the web devs, Web 2 devs? What are you thinking in that space? Do these guys deserve to be in on the fun as well?
No.
Okay.
No. They can take their business elsewhere.
You got to draw a line.
Yeah. I want like artists only.
Yeah.
But no, I mean like everybody's welcome, and we do have a lot of Web 2 developers that come to our events or the hackathon and hack on Web 3 stacks for the first time.
Yeah.
And like we invite everybody, but would we target them? I think like going for the lower hanging fruit. Building more momentum within the Web3 space with developers.
Consolidating that
keeping
energy.
them interested, like working against the churn there. That's an easier mission than trying to convince suits at a boomer conference.
Yeah, sure.
So
smart.
Yeah.
Okay, this question may be tough, so you guys can take a second to think of it, and whoever wants to answer first. But let's say you look back in 10 years, and how are you going to define that your work here was important, was valuable, had outcomes that made the world a better place? What would you be looking for when you look back?
You first?
I mean, if I'm still around in 10 years at the rate of the events. No, I'm joking.
Shit.
Zoe.
No, honestly, it's a real risk, actually.
I mean, at the rate we're going, and in all seriousness.
We'll film the next one before the event.
Huh?
We'll film the next podcast before the event.
It might be a little bit more optimistic and positive.
No, go ahead. If you're still around.
Yeah, if I'm still around in the next 10 years, which is a questionable one. I think we're all about like the long-term vision, and I think with what the magic of WebZero is that we're always thinking about how we can sort of improve. And Roman said about making the tools, like WebZero is a tool that can be used for the future.
Cool.
So while the treasury is still around, I think what the work we're doing now is going to have like a long-term impact, and I think the more people that have eyes on it and the more people that are influenced, they're going to pick it up, and hopefully we can influence more events to be like this and
I love it.
Convert more developers.
Yeah. Bro, what do you think?
Yeah, so there's two things that are baked into WebZero that are like very Polkadot, I would say. First is resilience. We built, our team is really resilient. We can get through anything. It doesn't really matter what people throw at us or the life throws at us, I would say. And also conviction. So being a conviction player means we work for decentralized systems and promoting them, doing our best part to, push the ideas of self-custody and systems that serve humans, right?
Cool.
In times that are not so easy.
I love the energy, guys. I love being a part of it as well. I want to say thank you for inviting me and the Koos as well to being a part of it. I love how this spirit and this story, it really goes beyond the walls of the space. People who aren't there hear about it, just in the city. People regret not making it to the mansion or to the lodge. And then the people at home as well. I mean, this sort of spirit that we get kind of generating here in real life, it definitely carries on.
It's momentum,
Yeah, hell yeah.
And I'm pretty sure there's going to be, a trail to be seen. We're evaluating the data, and it's definitely a worthwhile cause.
Love to see it. Yeah. Guys, thanks for coming on the show and sharing the experience, and get a few weeks rest. We'll see you in Berlin.
Thank you. Yeah, a few weeks rest.
See you at the next one. Yeah, and also thanks for all of the support, and I think you guys make a great part of the team.
Thanks.
And the growing family of WebZero.
Yeah, that's an honor. Thanks a lot.
Perfect.
All right, nice.
Thanks.